Welcome back to the show. This is our another episode from 10 Minutes English. Today's big question, is social media making us lonely? Or is it just getting a bad rap for something deeper? With me is psychologist and connection researcher Jack. Jack, thanks for being here.
I'm glad to be here, and I love that you framed it as a question, because the short answer is, it depends.
The answer everyone loves to hate.
I know, but it's true. Social media can be like a bridge or a barrier. For some people, it opens doors to community. For others, it turns into a wall between them and their real life.
Let me throw you a scenario I hear a lot. Someone scrolls for an hour at night, seeing friends' trips and parties, and suddenly they feel left out and weirdly alone. They put the phone down and they're in a worse mood than when they started.
That's actually a common pattern. We're wired for connection, but we're also wired for comparison. If your feed is a highlight reel, your brain fills the gaps. They're out, I'm not, something's wrong with me. It's not truth, it's a feeling, and passive scrolling tends to magnify that feeling.
Passive as in not commenting, not DMing, just lurking?
Exactly. The research suggests active use, messaging, commenting in real conversations, sharing in a small group, tends to correlate with better mood. Passive use, scrolling, lurking, often correlates with worse mood. It's not the app, it's the posture.
So maybe social media isn't making us lonely so much as it's making loneliness louder.
That's a great way to put it. Loneliness is like hunger. It's a signal that you need connection. Social media can sometimes quiet the signal with empty calories, likes, views, notifications, without giving you the nutrients of real interaction.
Digital Doritos.
Exactly. Tasted, not filling.
You did a study on ambient connection, right? Like when you feel close because you see people's updates, even if you haven't spoken to them in months?
Yes, ambient intimacy. It can be helpful, like keeping up with a cousin's new baby. But it can also trick you into feeling like you've maintained the relationship when you haven't. You know a lot about each other's lives, but you haven't actually had a conversation. That's a gap.
So what actually moves the needle from feeling alone near people to feeling close to people?
Depth, reciprocity, and vulnerability. A like is a wave from across the room. A comment is a hello. A DM is a chat in the hallway. A call is coffee. And a meetup is a meal. If social media is the hallway, it's perfect for initiating contact. Just don't live there.
That's good. I'm thinking of my own habits. There was a week where I posted every day and my engagement was high, but I felt hollow. Then I sent 3 voice notes to friends I hadn't spoken to in a while, and my whole mood shifted.
That's the tiny courage effect. A 30-second voice note or a specific DM, saw your post about your dad, how are you really doing, is surprisingly powerful. It changes your role from spectator to participant.
What about younger people? This conversation often lands on teens.
For teens, the stakes can be higher because peer connection feels like survival at that age. Social media can help them find their people, especially if they feel different or isolated in their offline world. But late-night scrolling, cyberbullying, and social comparison can hit harder too. The key for families is guided use, co-creating boundaries instead of just banning.
What does guided use look like in real life?
A few practical things. Co-use. Sit with them and explore their feed together once a week. Ask, how does this account make you feel? Keep or mute. Clear hours. Phones out of bedrooms overnight. If you're tired and alone, the algorithm becomes your babysitter. Skill building. Practice posting with purpose, sharing, not peacocking, and teach them how to move from feed to friendship. Who from this group chat do you want to hang out with this weekend?
That last one, feed to friendship, is underrated. I'm also thinking about people like caregivers or folks with chronic illness who can't easily get out. Social media is a lifeline for them.
Absolutely. I worked with a woman undergoing chemotherapy who joined a small online support group. They met virtually once a week, then mailed each other handwritten cards. That hybrid model, online coordination, offline touchpoints, is often the sweet spot.
Okay, let's talk about the dopamine roller coaster. People say likes are like slot machines. Is that true or just a good metaphor?
There's some truth to it. Variable rewards, sometimes you get a lot of engagement, sometimes you don't, are especially sticky for the brain. It's easy to get hooked on checking. But the reward fades quickly, and if you don't have deeper connections underneath, you're left with cravings and no nutrition.
And then you start editing yourself for the algorithm instead of your friends.
Right. You become a brand. That can create a performance gap. Who you are versus who you present. That gap is lonely. We feel most connected when we're seen as we actually are, not as we're optimizing to be.
I just felt that in my chest when you said that. So, practical playbook time. If someone's listening and thinking, okay, I want to feel less lonely and still use social media, where do they start?
3 simple shifts. Intention over impulse. Before you open an app, ask, am I here to connect, learn, or escape? If it's escape, set a timer or choose a healthier escape. Active over passive. Make a micro rule. No scrolling until I've messaged one person. Replace 10 likes with one meaningful DM or voice note. Bridge over destination. Use the app to initiate something off the app. Coffee, a walk, a call, even a shared playlist or watch party.
Can we make this even more tactical, like buttons to tap tactical?
Absolutely. Turn off non-human notifications. Keep DMs and real names, mute likes and suggested for you. Move the most addictive apps off your home screen or put them in a folder called Pause. Create a close friends or private group with 5 to 10 people. Post there first. Schedule a weekly connection hour. Literally put it in your calendar. Text, call, or voice note 3 people you care about. Mute accounts that trigger comparison. You don't have to unfollow, but just protect your mental space.
Love the folder called Pause. That's like judo for your brain.
Friction helps. The easier it is to open, the harder it is to put down. Add intentional friction.
On the flip side, are there early warning signs that social media is tipping you toward loneliness?
Yes, pay attention if you close an app and feel smaller, not fuller. You're consuming more than you're communicating, especially late at night. You're posting for reassurance and feeling worse when it doesn't land. Or you're avoiding plans because hanging out online feels easier.
I have a friend who works remotely and says Slack feels like talking to people all day, but by 6 p.m. she realizes she hasn't had a single human moment.
Workplace chat can feel social, but rarely fills the bucket. Tiny fix, bookend your workday with a real connection. 5-minute call with a friend in the morning, walk with a neighbor after work. Also, turning a work chat into a quick video or voice note can humanize it.
We haven't touched on parasocial relationships, feeling close to creators you follow. Are those inherently bad?
Not inherently. They can be comforting and inspiring. The risk is when they replace mutual relationships. If you're spending emotional energy on people who don't know you exist, make sure you're also investing in people who can show up for you.
Let's talk about third places. Because not everything has to be either Instagram or dinner with a friend. There's a middle ground.
Yes, third places are the public spots where community happens. Parks, libraries, gyms, faith spaces, cafes, clubs. Social media can be a great way to discover them. The move is follow, then go. RSVP, then show up. Post less about it and engage more while you're there.
And if showing up feels scary?
Start small, bring a friend, or do a micro invite. I'm going to the Saturday market at 10, walking around for 30 minutes. Want to join? Specific time and low commitment lowers the barrier.
Okay. I can hear someone thinking, this is all great, but I don't know who to reach out to without it feeling awkward.
Use the 3 names exercise. Think of someone you miss, someone you're curious about, someone nearby. Send each a simple message. Hey, you popped into my head. Want to catch up this week? Or I saw your project. Tell me everything. Or I'll be at local spot Thursday at 6. Join if you can. You'll be surprised how often people say yes.
And there's the pride swallow. The longer you wait, the weirder it feels to reach out. You just have to go first.
Exactly. Most people are relieved that you did. We're all waiting.
I'm curious where you land on the big question now that we've talked it through. Is social media making us lonely?
I'd say social media amplifies whatever is already there. If you're connected, it can add preds. If you're isolated, it can make the echo louder. It's a tool. The magic and the responsibility is in how we use it.
If we treat it as a bridge, not a home.
Perfect. Cross it often, don't camp on it.
Before we wrap, can you give listeners a 48-hour challenge?
Yes. For the next 2 days, before you open any social app, send one voice note or text to someone you care about. Mute 5 accounts that trigger comparison. Convert one group chat into a real plan, even a 20-minute walk. Then notice how you feel. More energy, less sting after scrolling? That's the signal we're aiming for.
I'm in. Maya, this was both grounding and hopeful. Thanks for making this feel doable.
Thanks for having me. And hey, if you're listening and feeling lonely, that's not a verdict. It's an invitation. Reach out to one person today.
Beautifully said. And to everyone listening, let us know how the 48-hour challenge goes. DM us or, better yet, send a voice note to a friend first. We'll see you next time.